What's up, guys? Expel here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 secrets pro players like your boy, because I'm a pro player, won't tell you about Call of Duty Warzone. Before we hop into things, I do want to remind you first of all, please, if you do go on to enjoy, drop the video a like. But first things first, there are timestamps down below to each single individual secret if you would like to go check those out. I'm not going to spoil anything, but they're all down below. Feel free to go check those out. If you ever want to skip the intro to my videos, I always have timestamps in the description of my videos, on the video playhead, I don't know how to speak, and in the pinned comment. Past that, if you do go on to enjoy, once again, please do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, drop the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure to turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. You can also follow me over on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up until 2 p.m., which is when all of my videos go live over on the YouTube, which is where we're at right now. We're here in this moment. This is where we're at. Oh, yeah. And then also, feel free to follow me over on Twitter. I tweet constantly because I'm addicted to Twitter. I don't know what's wrong with me. Please, God, help me. Please help me. And also join my Discord. It's a great way to stay up to date with your boy. You get all the notifications there, and you're also able to get in touch with me if you really, really need to over on Discord. Fantastic way to keep in touch. But yeah, please do me a favor. Enjoy. I hope you guys have a fantastic time watching the video, and let's hop into things. As a quick disclaimer, I would like to remind you that you may or may not already know some of these secrets. I make these videos for a general audience so that I can help out as many people as possible get better at Warzone. If you find that you know one of these or even all of them, maybe check out some of my other tip videos and you may find some information you didn't already know in one of those. Regardless, let's go ahead and hop into our first secret. Now, this first one is something I wish I had known since the beginning of Warzone, or at least something I thought was actually true. This specific secret is that all kill streaks come from the direction they were called in from. Now, this is something that's been floating around the community for a while, but I wasn't 100% certain it was true. But after some testing, it seems to check out. Basically, how this works is whenever you call in a cluster strike or precision airstrike, if you take a second to look, you'll notice it comes from the exact same direction that you are sitting and looking at. Another thing you may not realize is you can actually use this specific thing to your advantage. If at any point you notice someone's hiding behind an object, but you think you may not be able to hit them with the kill streak you have in your inventory, feel free to try and change the angle at which you call it in, and it may just help that kill streak eliminate the enemy you were targeting. Our next secret is something I have recently found much more useful to know, but may not be something that is hugely affecting the way that you as an individual plays. While this is something that you should be able to figure out the math of, you don't need to, as I've already ran the numbers. So, our second secret is that every single time you complete a contract, at least in solos, the amount that you get from the following contract will go up 40%. I will say this, however, every single time you do 3 more contracts, it'll go down another 10%. So instead of going up 40%, it'll then go up 30%. 3 more contracts done, it'll go up 20%. So on and so forth until you no longer go up any more percentages. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing them. Now, this is actually very good knowledge to have. A lot of people play this game and do it mindlessly. But what will set you apart from the rest is to have information and know more about the mode than anyone else. Knowing this will not only allow you to know how much you'll be getting from your next contract, but it also lets you decide which contract you need to be doing. Something I've noticed as of late is the amount that you get from each contract varies depending on your game mode. And as I'm more of a solos player, let's cover those prices. Off the rip, the recon contracts will be worth 1,000. Scavenger contracts will be worth 2,000. And last, but absolutely not least, the bounty contract is actually worth 6,000 plunder. So, what I would recommend for someone who is slowly trying to get better, definitely start by grabbing a scavenger contract to help you get some weapons and armor in the beginning of the game. But follow it up by grabbing a bounty and grab a whopping $8,400 and ball out with your loadout drop, or grab a couple of UAVs to help you find some more enemies to grab their loot. On the other side of things, as a high tier player, I found going directly for bounties off the drop is one of the best ways to not only get those early kills, but rack up a ton, and I mean a ton of cash to help you progress throughout the match. But remember, the choice is yours. Either start with one, start with the other, but one of them might help you get dead faster than the other. Now, this next secret is slowly becoming a bit more well-known and is actually somewhat of a controversial topic. I'm actually not going to be adding any of my personal input and opinion on whether or not I like it, but after doing a poll on my YouTube channel, I felt it was necessary to give you this information out straight. There is and always has been skill-based matchmaking within Warzone. Now, a lot of you may disagree with this and may say it's not real, but I've actually tested this myself, and there's a video a bit more popular than mine by Exclusive Ace that also goes over some numbers about all of this. For those of you that don't know, skill-based matchmaking is basically a way that Activision and Infinity Ward try to put us into a match with people of the same caliber so that they can hold their player base longer. I'm not entirely certain if it truly does work in practice, but the reason most people believe there's no skill-based matchmaking is because Infinity Ward directly told content creators when they were being shown the game that there wouldn't be any. Regardless, I've tested it and a ton of others have tested it as well. Now, I would like to say something about this on the lines of, how to use this to your advantage. As someone who's been playing Call of Duty and many other FPS games for a very long time, I'm fairly good at any FPS you can send my way. But when it comes to skill-based matchmaking being involved, I have to, and you should as well, keep in mind that people have vastly different playstyles at different levels. When I'm playing, I'll run into twice as many people camping or sitting in one area, as they tend to be much more afraid to move, as they don't really trust their aim and abilities enough to engage in a gunfight when they don't have an immediate upper hand. I highly recommend learning the way people play in your skill level and using tips you can find on YouTube, and hopefully at least some in my YouTube videos, to rise above and win against others within your category. Last thing I'll say on this topic is that it's also good to remember that tips coming from someone with a 4 kill death ratio may not always work for you. Take everything you hear in tip videos with a grain of salt, and especially from streamers that just play the game outright. I do my best to make tips that are useful for everyone, not just those on my level, so feel free to try and use my tips in your gameplay as, a base to start at. Okay, finally, let's go ahead and move on to our fourth secret, which is something I tried to mention when Warzone first launched, but I feel it didn't really get a lot of traction. Most weapons actually have the innate ability to become semi-automatic as opposed to fully automatic. A lot of people will simply tap fire their weapons to hit longer shots while in a gunfight. I actually do this a lot as well. But I would also like to recommend enabling this feature on your weapon before engaging in a long-range gunfight. The way you can go about turning it on is the simple press of a button. For PC players, it will be the B key, but on controllers, it should be left on the D-pad. Don't take my word for that. It might be right as well. I'm not entirely certain. Sometimes when you switch it up, it ends up being a different thing. As stated, this is massively helpful for hitting long-range shots and is often overlooked. I cannot tell you the number of times I've been unable to hit a shot, and once I switched to semi-automatic on whatever gun it may be, I beamed the other player right out of existence. As a quick reminder, while this tactic may be fantastic when engaging in long-range battles, please be sure to turn this feature off your weapon. Please be sure to turn it off, or technically turn the feature on your weapon off. I don't know how to speak. Just turn it back to fully automatic to ensure you don't get yourself eliminated by leaving it on and getting into a close engagement. Quite a few times I've found myself going to spray an enemy only to have my weapon only shoot one single shot while I end up in the gulag. Now, last but not least, we find ourselves at our final secret, and this is something that will genuinely help you within Warzone, and already is helping me. This was actually recommended to me by some of my fellow content creators, but I only found out rather recently. You can actually turn off the function that automatically deploys your parachute when nearing the ground. This may sound a bit counterproductive, but hear me out. If you're trying to reach the ground and grab a weapon faster than anyone else, this can be very useful. I cannot tell you the number of times I've seen the fear in my enemy's eyes as I pull my chute about a foot off the ground and they're forced to slowly float down while I spray them down with the Uzi or M4A1. I use this every single game and I cannot recommend it to you all enough. If you would like to enable this feature, all you need to do is go to your options, your movement settings, or possibly general if you're on console, find parachute auto deploy and disable it. From now on, you will never have to worry about an enemy reaching the ground before you. I will, however, mention that that there is a slight flaw with turning this setting off. When you disable it, you are 100% certain to crush your body into the ground and just flatten it at least 3 to 4 times a day. Even after having this on for a couple of weeks, I've still found myself forgetting to use my parachute or pulling it way too late because I assume I'm better than I really am. Alrighty guys, that is gonna do it for the video. If you did go on to enjoy, it'd be greatly appreciated if you drop the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. I post videos literally every day. It's definitely worth it. Also, quick heads up. Hey, quick heads up. I'm sure, once again, I said a disclaimer at the beginning of the tips, but once again, if you did know any of those, please, you know, if you have any secrets you'd like to share, let me know those in a comment down below. I do apologize if you knew any of those, but I tried to help everybody out, not just like the 3 people that already know it. I'm sorry if you knew any of it. I can't help it, dude. But also, please, I love getting feedback from you guys. Drop in a comment down below, you know, which ones you knew, which ones you didn't know. Tell me if something is helpful to you, and also let me know what tips or secrets you would like to share with the comment section on this video, and maybe, just maybe, what you say may be featured in a future video. I definitely do go through the comments. I literally try to reply to as many as I can, so please drop a comment down below with your thoughts on the video. But last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, make sure to go follow your boy over on twitch.tv/iamexpel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up till 2 p.m., which is when my videos go live over on the YouTube. And follow me over on Twitter. Yeah, and Discord too. That stuff's down below. I don't know what else to say. Just skedaddle. Thank you guys immensely for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.